Zelensky somehow 4 days ago he had a press conference during which he said that Donald Trump, he's gonna go, somehow he feels it's a temporary policy on the part of the United States to negotiate with Russia. They're gonna be gone. So we're gonna get back to the same old policies.
Well, he could mean that Trump will be assassinated and moved aside, or he could mean that the American military security complex is so determined to continue the profitable situation of having the conflict that they'll block Trump. They'll use the House and Senate, all of whom are dependent on campaign contributions from the armaments industry. And that may be what he's counting on. And the fact that Trump has never sat down and actually talked with Putin about what the Russian conditions are and why they're important, and then offered any modification of them on his part. This has never happened. And for some reason, no one in the Trump administration has ever told him this is what you have to do. You have to sit down and hammer this out with Putin. And then the two of you have to let your governments review it and raise any kinds of objections or modifications and then you have to go back and discuss that and find what is the solution. But this has never happened. And so I don't understand these meetings between Kirill Dmitriev and Witkoff and Kushner. I mean, it's stupid. It doesn't mean it's stupid. It doesn't mean anything. You can't achieve any result except make people think that negotiations are still happening. But these are not negotiations. And the whole thing is just too puzzling to make any sense unless they're play acting some kind of a show, that they've got something in mind and they're stretching out. Maybe they're using these negotiations to stretch out the war so that the West can get better prepared. But then we're back to the real question: what does the West gain from the war?
Yeah.
There's nothing to gain. The war will result in total destruction of Europe. This simply will be the end of the European countries. It's not anything that anyone should be pursuing or threatening or advocating. You know, if Putin was a realistic leader and he believed this, he'd go ahead and strike Europe. Why would he wait 2 years? Anybody who's told that, hey, we're going to attack you in 2 years, why would he wait? Particularly when he has such a powerful upper hand right now. So I don't know it. I don't know what to make of it. It doesn't make any sense. Either side's position makes no sense to me. And I've never seen any explanation of it that made any sense. And the media is useless. And so are the vast majority of the commentators and the American foreign policy community. You know, a few of your guests have sensible things to say, but they're almost excluded from the foreign policy community. You know, that these are not people invited to be a member of the Council of Foreign Relations or the Atlantic Council. And the discussions there are stupid, they're meaningless. Um, there's this man named David Johnson. He publishes regularly what he calls the Russian list, and it's the main articles among the foreign policy community, and you hardly ever see anything intelligent. It's just all some form of propaganda that in some way they can twist against Russia, but for what purpose? And what does everybody want all this propaganda against Russia for? What does it solve? It's not. And if people actually want a real war with Russia, they're crazy. They should be arrested. She should be arrested and taken out of office and arrested. They'll get humanity destroyed. I mean, so I don't understand the sort of acceptance of these kinds of statements about going to war with Russia and all of that. You would think all the populations would be very angry that they're being taken to their doom, and they would do something about these stupid leaders making these statements, but nothing happens. And as you said, anybody who opposes it that they can reach, they try to shut down. You know, this fellow in Switzerland, and also the president of Hungary. You know, I'm surprised he hasn't been assassinated. So it's a nonsensical thing. I think Putin should just quickly end the war. He should just shut down Ukraine, close the country off. Why hold an election? Just appoint a government or rule it himself. Or just annex Ukraine. Why hold the annexation to Donbass in Crimea? Ukraine is traditionally part of Russia. It's been an independent country for 3 decades. Its independence was created by the United States, not by the Ukrainians. He should just say, well, we were originally content with Donbass, but now, no. And Ukraine now is part of Russia, and it's administered as a part of the Russian Federation. And any outside interference will be considered an act of war against Russia, and you will cease to exist in 30 minutes. That'd be the end of it. Instead, we don't get an end, and we get more and more delays that can lead to more mischief and more impossibility of resolving it. I can't see how, at this stage, Putin can possibly think that this can be resolved with negotiation. Given the total absence of any real negotiation on Washington's part and the total opposition of Europe to ending the conflict. You know, Europe's terms for ending the conflict is for Russia to withdraw and give back all the territory. That's Europe's terms. Well, these are not terms that can lead to a settlement. And so why does Putin think there can be a negotiation? You know, how long is he going to believe this can be negotiation? 2 more years. Now, suppose Europe means it, and they're going to build an army, and they're going to get ready to enter Ukraine with a European army. and turn the tide of battle and recapture Ukraine. It can't be done unless the Russian government somehow is overthrown or collapses or refuses to respond. So it's one of those extraordinary puzzles that should be receiving endless public debate, discussion. People should be saying, what is going on? What is this? What is going on? Why are we doing this? It's going to get worse. It's leading to a bigger conflict. What is it all about? Why is Zelensky even important? His term ran out, what, a year or two ago, didn't it? I don't know how long ago. I mean, he's not even officially the leader of the country. And so how are we saving Ukrainian democracy? It's absurd. It really is absurd.
Yeah, exactly.
And how do you discuss absurd things? I mean, you're trying to get me to discuss it, but you can't. Nobody can discuss something this absurd. So for this year, Trump has done nothing about a negotiation, and Putin has failed to take that seriously, and continues this sort of make-believe conflict. And I guess he'll sit on his butt like he did with the Minsk agreement and wait for a big army to show up that he has to fight.